Hello, my channel mammals and my strangers. Hi. I was going to go down below and get a tripod and speaker and all of that, but I was afraid I'd never get back up in time before the light went away. And I'm sure I look like the wreck of the Hesperus, but I'm here with you. And it's what we read that matters, right? So this is this week's Bible lesson. It's Sunday, and we read it, of course, every day this week, and then at church on Sunday today. It was amazing. And you know what I thought? Maybe not this week, but starting next week, the hymns were so wonderful in relation to the lesson. If it doesn't make it too long, I'd love to share a hymn with you. Maybe I'll just make a print copy of it, and you can play it on your piano or your organ and sing along. Okay, here we go. This week's lesson is called God, the Preserver of Man. Isn't that so tender? And it's really true. Here we go. I'm just going to read section 3 and section 5 this time. Okay, from the Bible in Psalms, it says, "Many there be which say of my soul, there's no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head." There's hope for all of us. Proverbs, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe." First Samuel, "And there went out a champion." Oh, this is a story, you know it very well, and it's such a lesson to us. Here I go, from 1 Samuel. "And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together." When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. And David said unto Saul, "Let no man's heart fall because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine." And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand. And he drew near to the Philistine. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. Then said David to the Philistine, "Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee unto mine hand." And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took out thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. 2 Samuel. "And the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went." And then in Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy, it supports it with all these wonderful additional insights here on how it can apply to us. The understanding of his spiritual individuality makes man more real, more formidable in truth, and enables him to conquer sin, disease, and death. Every mortal at some period, here or hereafter, must grapple with and overcome the mortal belief in a power opposed to God. Some people yield slowly to the touch of truth. Few yield without a struggle, and many are reluctant to acknowledge that they have yielded. But unless this admission is made, evil will boast itself above good. Belief in a material basis from which may be deduced all rationality is slowly yielding to the idea of a metaphysical basis, looking away from matter to mind as the cause of every effect, mind with a capital M, a synonym for God. Materialistic hypotheses challenge metaphysics to meet in final combat in the Revolutionary period, like the shepherd boy with his sling. Woman goes forth to battle with Goliath. I'm ready. Moral courage, that's important. Moral courage is the lion of the tribe of Judah, the king of the mental realm. Free and fearless, it roams in the forest. Undisturbed, it lies in the open field or rests in green pastures beside the still waters. Never fear the mental malpractitioner, the mental assassin who, in attempting to rule mankind, tramples upon the divine principle of metaphysics. For God is the only power. At all times and under all circumstances, overcome evil with good. Know thyself, and God will supply the wisdom and the occasion for a victory over evil. Clad in the panoply of love, human hatred cannot reach you. The cement of a higher humanity will unite all interests in the one divinity. That's something to look forward to, and it can be. Now I'm going to skip section 4 and read from section 5. In Romans, it says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth." I thought, wow, that's a big assignment, but we're not doing it. God is just shining through us. It's God has already done this wonderful work, and we just radiate off of God, and everyone is blessed. Matthew. "And when Jesus was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother, laid and sick of a fever. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them." Then also in Science and Health, "Are material means the only refuge from fatal chances? Is there no divine permission to conquer discord of every kind with harmony, with truth and love? To heal the sick, one must be familiar with the great verities of being. Christ presents the indestructible man, whom Spirit creates, constitutes, and governs. Christ illustrates that blending with God, his divine principle, which gives man dominion over all the earth. Jesus demonstrated the inability of corporeality as well as the infinite ability of spirit, thus helping erring human sense to flee from its own convictions and seek safety in divine science. Reason, rightly directed, serves to correct the errors of corporeal sense, but sin, sickness, and death will seem real even as the experiences of a sleeping dream seem real, until the science of man's eternal history breaks their illusion with the unbroken reality of scientific being. We apprehend life in divine science only as we live above corporeal sense and correct it. Our proportionate admission of the claims of good or of evil determines the harmony of our existence. May I read that again? Our proportionate admission of the claims of good or of evil determines the harmony of our existence, our health, our longevity, and our Christianity. Not human platitudes, but divine beatitudes reflect the spiritual light and might which heal the sick. It is possible, yea, it is the duty and privilege of every child, man and woman, to follow in some degree the example of the Master by the demonstration of truth and life, health, and of holiness. That's all I'm reading today. But it's enough, isn't it? You can listen to it over and over again, and you can also read the whole lesson as it's going to be given to you in the in our channel. So I hope you enjoyed what you did listen to just now. Not just enjoyed, but put to use. Isn't it amazing? And it's all possible. It's all there for us.